Shabbat Shalom. Our parsha this week is a double header. Vayakhel Pekudei. In it, we read again about the construction of the tabernacle. This was God's physical dwelling place in our world. Dina Schusterman, a Rebbitzin and founder of the in-town schools for Chabad, relates a story about her father, who was also a rabbi, and lessons learned, stating the concept that when life sends you challenges, you might want to ask, why? And sometimes you might want to say, why me? Have any of you ever done that? But the answer to the why is what? Instead, ask yourself, what, instead of why, or why me, what is my purpose here? What am I supposed to do as a result of this experience? What is the lesson being shown to me? The struggles of life are not as a means to an end, but in some ways, the end itself. Now, I say this all the time. There is so much in life that appears to be filled with struggle, and that the active process we engage in confronting and dealing with it is the process that perfects our character. Our parsha this week relates yet again to all of the minute details of everything donated for the building of the tabernacle and the construction itself. The end result would be something perfectly constructed according to God's exact plan. It takes time and patience, however, and the blueprint followed in exact precision as laid out by Moses directly from God, which then culminates in a dwelling place that is filled up with the divine presence. In a sense, this is what we must do every single day that we are here on this earth. God gave us a body, a soul, a mind, a vessel to be filled up with knowledge, experience, and yes, lessons to learn and grow from. In so doing, we actually create the space for God to dwell within us. It takes time and patience to create perfection. It is an ongoing process that is constantly evolving, just like our breath as it spins out of us when we're meditating and praying and singing. As we perfect ourselves, so too do we perfect our world and our relationships. Our very physical presence in this earthly world is much like the construction of the Mishkan. Our ongoing care in the detailed construction allows for the spiritual to dwell in the physical. We live in very complex times. Struggles that we thought were behind us are flaring up. Anti-Semitism is on the rise. There's a New Jersey-based organization, has anyone heard of it? Jew Belong. There's actually signs, there's billboards around the city. Recently, they launched a hashtag End Jew Hate campaign. And there's these bright pink billboards that are promoting this. Messages like, I promise to love being Jewish 10 times more than anyone hates me for it. 3,500 years of anti-Semitism doesn't make it right. And, this is the one that we have in the Harbor City, does your church need armed guards? We have one out there, because our synagogue does. The organization hopes to spread awareness of anti-Semitism around the country. There's a lot of them in Florida, but all across the country. Jew Belong started with the intention to make Judaism, kind of like us, more approachable to the organizations they consider themselves reaching out to the disengaged Jews, a group of Jews who may not feel connected to their Jewishness. That's outreach for one reason or another, with relatable, affirming messages like, we don't care which half of you is Jewish. And, so eat your bacon. God has other things to worry about. They state that according to a 2020 Pew Research Center report, there are 5.8 million Jewish adults in the United States, just accounting for 2.4% of the adult population. One of the reasons that Jew Belong is doing this campaign is that not everybody realizes this, that Jews are only 2% of the population in the United States. So what does this say about us? We're here, we're showing up. Judaism and God needs each and every one of us as much today, or maybe even more so than in days of old. Because without us, our faith, the perseverance and devotion, everything that our ancestors went through would have been for nothing if we don't carry it forward. The promise still exists for all of us. We just need to get over our compulsion toward the why me, and move ourselves towards the what. To quote Dina again, to back up messages that I have been sharing for years, we are not here to achieve perfection. We are here to achieve greatness through finding our purpose in the world. The pleasure for God is precisely in our struggle while we are engaged in this process. Only God can arrange for perfection, and that will happen when Mashiach is revealed in totality. In just a few weeks, we will open the door for Elijah to come in, and you can learn all about Elijah in the next few weeks on Tuesdays with Mark. But in the next few weeks, we'll just open up that door, and what that does is it heralds the time when Mashiach, when the perfect world to come will happen, a time with peace and abundance for everyone. This will be manifest in the here and in the now. And guess what? It's only going to happen through our own good deeds and the evolution of the perfection of our character. This cannot be accomplished without struggle and how we adapt and grow through the obstacles and the challenges that we face. Our ancestors faced enormous challenges on a daily basis in their wandering through the wilderness. And they faltered, didn't they? Time and time again. They were far from perfect. But the process that they were going through laid the foundation for every single thing that we value, uphold, and honor today. The tabernacle of old is ever present today. The Mishkan that was so lovingly detailed and constructed is reflected in the Mishkan we built here. Look around. Temple Emet. The foundation and every single detail was debated and budgeted and carefully planned and executed. And by the way, not without challenge. We had a period of time, I think what was stopped for like 4 or 5 months, resulting ultimately in this beautiful Mishkan Tefillah, this dwelling place of prayer for God. A sanctuary constructed for the divine to surround us and dwell within us. We had many challenges and obstacles along the way in the construction, and we still do today as we face the future and the support of it. We must be willing to work through the why to get to the what, remembering to ask ourselves, what is our purpose here? What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to get from our experience? And what is the lesson that we are being shown, individually and collectively? Organized religion as a whole and Judaism is suffering. Look, we need billboards. If we want to continue, we have to constantly be strong in the face of continued anti-Semitism and hate, and be willing to reinvent and engage in the ongoing pursuit of perfecting ourselves. We are the best defense against the evils in the world. Just like Esther in the Purim story that we just told. As we stated last Shabbat, God loves becoming. It is an ongoing process. The willingness to be strong, to have faith, and to surrender the moments of why and why me to the what, and to the action inherent in the what. Judaism is based on action. We strike the match, and sometimes we struggle to light those candles. But when we do, we cover our eyes and we make those circles and we bring order into the chaos of the world, and we connect to the light of God that is in us and the individual unique light that we bring to the world, each and every one of us. So when we look at the why versus the what, we have to think about our perception. It's all our perception. What's affecting our lives, how we think, is it negative, is it positive, affects our impact on the world. So we must ask, what can I do to better myself? What can I do to better the situation I am in? How do I need to shift? What do I need to do differently? The advancement of my purpose is dependent upon that. Why? So that God can better work through and within me. What can I do to make a better difference in my life, in my faith, in my family, and the world around me? What is God trying to teach me when everything is going on? What do you want me to learn? What is God trying to teach me so that I can better perfect myself in order to better serve? In so doing, as we perfect ourselves, we enhance our relationships and the level of positivity and abundance we actually receive in our lives and propagate in our world. The Mishkan, the furtherance of Judaism, the fate and the future of Torah, and its relevance in the world, none of this works without us. We have to create the space for God to dwell. That is why we're meditating. That is why we're focusing on the Aleph Bet. That is why we're opening up our vessel. We have to invite God in. Much like Avraham and the angels, we have to be the hosts filled with generosity of spirit, wanting to engage with the divine and welcoming. So as we go forth, may we have the courage to surrender the why to the what, the courage to face our demons along with our struggles, because Pesach is coming. That is the beginning of us as a people. It really is our new year. So we truly want to face our demons along with our struggles so that perfection can be found in the process of our becoming. And may the dwelling places that we build, both physical and spiritual, be strong, bountiful reflections of the divine within us and around us. May it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom.